Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another high-level game of Protoss versus Protoss here. Today we have Classic in the top right, spawning as the blue Protoss player. In the bottom left, spawning as the red Toss, it is Astrea, who is a player that I am very interested in personally. I think he has had periods in the past where he was quite weak. Then he had periods in the past where he was quite strong. I think right now he's a little bit in between. He's not the strongest he's ever been, but I think he's in good shape. I do believe he's quite powerful. And I don't think he's quite the best North American, but he's getting really, really close to Neeb. Really, really close to Scarlet as well. And yeah, he's just one of these players that is super interesting because he really does play his own style. He has his own shenanigans. Right now we see him opening up with a gateway first. One gate, expand type of build here. Similar to what MaxPax plays a lot. Now, just because MaxPax plays it one way doesn't mean that Astrea will play it the same. As I know that MaxPax, whenever he opens like this, will get a lot of workers in gas, and very often will make sure that he's mining a crap ton of gas so he can afford that first adept easily, he can afford that Stargate. We, however, here see that Astrea is actually quite low on the gas. He keeps 16 on minerals almost the entire time. He's microing his workers quite poorly, by the way, but I'll forgive him that. Same time, he's going to be getting that Zealot out. This is the timing for Classic to either build a pylon or to wait. Oh, he's going to end up losing that. That's painful. We'll see a Nexus Sentry Warp Gate here. Is kind of what I'm assuming. At the same time, we see Classic opening up with a 1-gate expand as well. This is a reactionary 1-gate expand, which means that rather than just getting that second Agnes. Ooh, I think you can cancel that Stalker. Yep. Stalker cancel into Nexus. Very cool. Cool openers here. Okay, I like this. I do like this. So the reactionary Stargate here out of Classic in the main base with that frontal wall. I prefer the building positioning for Astrea by quite a bit. In a general sense, having a wall in the front is super useful. It means you can delay your robo very often because you can keep one unit in a wall if you build like another pylon over here. And that unit can most likely do a lot for you. It can hold DTs, and thus your robo can be delayed, means you can get a faster third base. At the same time, though, I think tech-wise, Classic looks really healthy, right? He has that fast Stargate, and one of the downsides of the 1-gate expand is just that your Stalker count tends to be very low, especially if you open up with a Sentry. So we do see that second gate being built. I even believe he's going to build a Stalker out of this gate, otherwise the timing of it makes very little sense. So we'll see most likely, I assume, a Stalker out of this gateway. I mean, there's plenty of time. 65, yep, there we go. And I wouldn't even mind a chrono boost on that, you know that? I wouldn't mind a chrono boost on that Stalker. Because this Oracle obviously is coming. It's going in towards the main base. There's just not enough in the natural. It's as simple as that, really. There's not enough units currently in the natural. This could cost Astrea 2 to 3 workers, which is really the only lead that he had was here in the worker count. If he gets that Oracle, though, 3 workers for an Oracle is not a good trade. Second Oracle on the way, and with that in mind, that especially is a bad trade. Imagine the second Oracle showing up, nothing being there in the main. I mean, Warpgate research isn't done yet. 2 Oracle against just a battery, they can kill a lot of workers. Now, there are enough Stalkers in the natural here. I think 1 worker might still fall. Actually, he's going to go for 2. We'll get 2 workers and get away safely. So technically, Classic so far lost a single Oracle and killed 5 workers. That might be somewhat okay. Blink timing also looks fine. Nexus timing, however, for Classic is just going to be delayed. Because of that investment in the Stargate, into those Oracles, Stalker count also is lower than what Astrea has. But Classic makes up for that with a slight probe lead. I don't think you can do this, Classic. I think that's a huge error. Stasis Ward in the main base is the only thing you can do. I think I would have preferred a Stasis over the activation of the Pulsar Beam to pick off a single worker. But perhaps if he scouts this worker at the third base as well, he can go for it. Hello, Classic? You don't want it? It's a free worker. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so far I think 7 workers have gone down. 8 workers have been killed, actually. 4 on this bad boy. 3 on the other. And then I guess the scouting probe also went down. Same time, 2 adepts. Oh, these adepts killed something. Astrea's going to start moving across the map. Will just to walk by this watchtower. Very unfortunate, because this means that these adepts can perhaps achieve something on the other side of the map. But also this got spotted, so this will most likely not achieve very much. Blink is done right now for Astrea. It's not quite done yet for Classic, so these 4 Stalkers are actually still going to get into the main base. We'll get 3-4 workers before this recall ends up finishing, and we'll blink down. Might be able to get a battery here as well. At the same time, these adepts are doing a fair amount of damage. This Oracle, well, not doing too much. Single adept here will not be able to achieve much more. A lot of workers went down on the side of Classics. 2 adept also went into the natural. Beautiful play here out of Astrea, who will get most likely 1 more worker before his time as the harasser ends. Beautiful, beautiful game so far out of our American Protoss player. Who's kind of outplaying his opponent with what I believe to be an inferior opener. I think losing that first Oracle was painful, map control wise, and just really the harass potential. The strength really with the Oracle opener is the moment you hit that second Oracle. And well, if you only have a single Oracle by the time the second Oracle arrives, that obviously that you lose a big part of your strength. Classic is moving in with a fair amount of Stalkers. At the same time, there's 10 Stalkers for Astrea. Astrea also has an Immortal out already. There is now a proxy pylon here in the plans. The blueprint shows a potential proxy pylon. This observer is going to spot the Stalker move out though, so that should be taken out relatively soon. Oh, 1 probe falls. Yeah, I don't really think that that Classic can easily fight this, right? Oh, interesting blink forward here. Really exposing himself. I don't like that force field whatsoever, but it has been cast. There's nothing that can be done about that at this point. Stalkers are in a bit of trouble. Is there a recall still available? There's no recall available, which means that all of these Stalkers, had Astrea controlled this well, probably should have died. Large portion of the Stalkers will still fall. The unit lost is in favor of the American Protoss. The worker count is in favor of the American Protoss. The upgrades are in favor of the American Protoss. The only thing lacking for the American Protoss is the infrastructure, perhaps. We have slightly more gates already coming out for... Holy crap, how many is that? 6, 8? 8 gateways here for Classic. And Astrea is just now going up, well, up to 7. So a 1 gate difference. I mean, it's not the end of the world either. Wants to go for a kill timing here with Glaives. So if you play Glaives against a mass Stalker type of opener, I do believe that you're going to end up needing a couple of Immortals as well with that, just for safety. I mean, this gets absolutely scouted here by Astrea, and I think this push should not be successful. Actually corners himself here in a pretty big way as well. There's no +1 yet on this army. The Immortal's not really fighting either, but the Stalker count is larger for Astrea. And on top of that, there's also an Immortal with this. And unless the Zealots deal some big damage, I don't actually see how Classic is planning on winning this. 1 more Warp in should come in quickly for Astrea though, as these Zealots are tanking a fair amount of damage, especially these Immortal shots being tanked is annoying. At the same time though, is it even going to be enough? Good control out of Astrea. Is being pushed back at least temporarily. We have 5 more Stalkers being warped in. The next Immortal just now starting. +1's about to finish up the forward blink out of Classic. Astrea, I think, is winning this fight, but it looks like he isn't because he's moving back. This fort base might fall, but I don't think that will be a big deal. There's no fort base on the side of Classic either. Classic is very all in with this. He has no upgrades. He has no follow-up plan either. There's a lot of money in the bank right now for Astrea. Resonating Glaives is about to finish up as well. And once that finishes up, the Zealots for Classic will be a lot less useful. That forward blink makes no sense. If you look at the actual Stalker count and the upgrades, that forward blink was a momentum blink. Classic felt like he had momentum. I was like, oh, let me just blink behind him. But of course, absolutely useless, as there were more Stalkers for Astrea, and I think Classic is going to have to tap out at this point. Zealots being warped in without charge rather than the Adepts with Glaives. Interesting call, most likely the incorrect call as well, but I don't think it's going to matter as Astrea has too many Stalkers still remaining alive. GG gets called and Astrea wins game number 1 of this best of 5. Game number 2 here. Game number 2 played on Black Bear. Wait, what? Okay. Thought he was gonna block his opponent's natural, like you do in PvZ, but just said it slightly too fast, I believe. Go sort of checks here. What are we checking for, Mr. Astrea? I am so curious what he's doing. Okay, just pops in, pops out. Gate will be thrown down here, I guess. And we'll head out for a scout. Slightly faster gateway for Astrea. Of course, not the end of the road to 3 seconds. Should not really matter too much in the long run. It's important. This is the most important thing in life to me. Whether they rally their probe. I hate seeing workers getting stuck. The stupid slows. And oh my god, classic. I despise that type of probe movement. It's okay. Second gas already being taken for Astrea. This classic might try some tricks here. He is going to try some tricks. Might just try to move around. Ooh, Astrea. Ooh, you sneaky man. You sneaky, sneaky man. What are we doing here? Ooh. A pylon on the far left side. And okay, okay. I dig it, I dig it. This is something. Okay, I don't know what it is. I don't think Classic knows what it is either. But this is something. We are looking at a potentially dangerous Astrea here. What I believe that we're seeing right now at this point is a fake proxy out of Astrea. And this is something you don't very often see in the one gate versus... No, it's a real proxy. Okay, so that's a third pylon proxy. The Zealot, is it going to get cancelled or will it be built? It should be cancelled, I think. No, just what it is, I guess. Now we have an Adept on the way. Stargate for both players. Stargate actually in the main base as well for Astrea. Classic is going to be very confused here, I believe. And he should be very confused. It wouldn't surprise me if Classic opens up with a Void Ray, by the way. Classic hasn't scouted this left side whatsoever. Astrea is going to move his Zealot across the map right now and will take out that probe. Next, it's really funny. Classic is kind of mind gaming himself so hard right now. He's so worried. And he should be very worried. He's getting a battery in the main base. Neither player building a Nexus yet. I think Astrea will be the first player to actually build a Nexus. This should be a Void Ray. I feel like this will be a Void Ray or an Oracle. If this is a Phoenix, then Classic is a genius. He's not sure what he wants. Classic right now has no clue what he wants to build. And I can't blame him. That's the great thing. I actually can't blame Classic for not building anything here. Now he ends up going for an Oracle. And this is a huge gamble. This is a huge gamble. He has no clue why he's doing that. A Void Ray for Astrea. Okay. What? Okay, this is slightly confusing. I think the reason he goes for it is because he saw the battery here already and he wants to deal with his opponent's Oracle well. There's also a big Stalker count being built right now. Nexus being built on the gold. Oh, okay. I get it, I get it. So this is a fake Void Ray all-in, I guess. Classic is going to scout the lack of natural here at some point. Right? He should at least. Are we going to see Blink? Is this... Yeah, okay, this is a rushed Blink then. And then this gold base will kind of function as a way to get back into the game. But the problem is that Classic hasn't spotted the lack of an expansion yet. It is absolutely vital for this strategy that Classic is aware that there is no base here. I'm not quite sure if he saw it. I believe he might have seen it. That I'm not 100% sure. No sane man would move out at this point if he had seen the lack of a natural. Classic is barely not... Okay, he sees the Nexus here. That's actually a big deal. That's a really big deal. This is a very confusing game. This is extremely confusing. I do believe that Astrea kind of tried to mind game so hard that now he's just behind. That Void Ray is still in the main, trying to defend against any type of Oracles, of course. However, the Oracles are going to show up here at the third base. There's no battery yet at this base. Another Stalker Warp in should not be capable of saving this position. And if another Stalker goes down before the battery finishes, it's kind of painful. Oracle will die as well, though. Void Ray is going to show up, and at this point the Blink also gets spotted. Very unfortunate. It's just been a couple of unfortunate things happening here for Astrea in a row. But at the end of the day, he's down 17 workers. And really, the only thing he has going for himself is the fact that his Blink is about, 100 seconds faster, maybe? Nah, 80 to 70 seconds faster. Dark Shrine kind of has an insurance policy saying, hey, if I survive for long enough, I should just straight up win the game. And I think that might be very, Very useful here for Classic. I don't think he can be broken, especially not with a super battery there. There's triple gateways out already as well for Classic. He's 3 more gateways on there. He's such a fantastic spot. He is in such a fantastic spot. I have absolutely no clue how Astrea is going to save himself this game. Blink back. 2 Stalkers will fall here for Classic. Classic actually getting a little bit too excited, perhaps. Gets the big stasis in the main base, though. I there's really no reason for him whatsoever to move on the map in a million years. He's busy getting his nexus here. And in about 10 seconds from now, the first DT is out. There's no detection. Detection will not be very proper. There's going to be an Oracle, perhaps. A single one. Defending 2 bases that are split like this is going to be pure hell. Now, this main base is perhaps a little bit in danger. I mean, there's no... Well, there's a battery here, actually. Blink is going to get taken out. I, once again, don't think this is the fight that Classic should be taking. Or at least not quite like this. Astrea is microing this very well, though. Taking out these pylons means there's just not... Well, there's still 3 active gateways, actually, in the natural. So there's definitely some possibility here. 2 Stalkers make their way into the natural as well. So Astrea is going to continue the pressure. DTs make their way across the map, but it's a full wall over here. There's nothing over here that can kill this DT, though. So we're kind of in a weird base trade scenario, and I honestly would have never bet on Astrea in this game, the way it was looking. But right now, if he can get an Oracle out, and if he can keep up the pressure, he really needs to take out this pylon, I believe. I think this pylon is vital in this offense. And you just let your own Nexus, your natural, die, and you send your Oracle across the map. I don't think the Oracle should be home. No, I think that's a huge error here. The Oracle should be on the other side of the map trying to deal with his DTs. Yeah, that's where we're going, exactly. Second Oracle is being built right now. There is a decent amount of Stalkers. The only thing that matters right now for Classic is his own production. If Classic can get his production going again, he will be fine. If he gets 3-4 more Warpins. However, if Classic can't get that production going, he might just lose the game. I don't think eco matters anymore. The eco has already been won. The economy right here. No, don't go back. No, don't go home. We have another Oracle coming in. That should be fine. Yeah, there we go. DT's gonna get taken out. You might even be able to save this one as well if you're a little bit active. At least send some of these Stalkers across the map. Pylon. Yeah, Pylon snipe. It's 100% the correct call here. You want to deny your opponent's production. If it's 3 gate against 3 gate, you're both producing about as much. Now, there's way more units on the map currently for Astrea, but he's afraid, so he's keeping a fair amount of them at home as well. I might just start sending them out on the map. I would not mind that whatsoever. I really would not mind that. 2 Oracles as well. What if you just send out... Yeah. No, full wall. Full wall. No, we... okay, well... I would prefer the full wall, but I still like it. There's 11 Stalkers right now, as once again, the production for Classic is just a little bit better. I think a blink into the main base is still the answer here. I really do believe it. 17 Stalkers against 12. 2 Oracles and an Adapter here as well. This means there's a lot of damage output, but every single second that goes by is a good second for Classic. Stasis Ward being used defensively. Oh, first shot gets completely missed. Blinks in Stasis Ward aggressively, but all of these defensive blinks are not going to help. This Stasis Ward getting 3 Stalkers, though, is kind of nice, but the Stalker count is so close already right now. I think there's slightly more production for Classic. I mean, even gateway count, but the money is just so darn tight here for Astrea. This 1DT could come home at any point as well. Once these pylons finish up, these batteries will be active again. And that's really just a huge issue, especially in combination with that ramp. Oracles make their way into the main base, but as I mentioned before, the economy is extremely irrelevant. I mean, there's a base mining, the gold here. Forward blink out of Astrea, but the super battery will be activated. There's too many Stalkers for Classic, and the series will be tied up 1-1. Game number 3 will be played on hard wires. The score is 1-1, and Astrea once again sending out this worker a little bit too fast, in my opinion, huh? Yeah, it's like 20 minerals too quick. Well, it is what it is. Rather too early than too late, I always say. Then you have some time to just stand around, think about your sins. This probe hasn't had the time to create any real sins yet. Perhaps stealing those minerals. Destroying the natural environment for Protoss game is considered a sin. Not very environmental friendly. That's life, I guess. Alright, probe's gonna start moving across the map. So we have a 1-gate expand once again out of Astrea. I mean, a huge success with it in the first game. Second game, I feel like he got a little bit too creative for his own good. You know, sometimes people push it too far with the mind games, and you just end up, you know, stacking up all these mind games on top of one another, all these little tricks, that your opponent is so confused that they just do something random, and that random thing often is good enough. Second gate gets thrown down here out of Classic, which means that, yeah, he needs to do something. And his response is going to be a proxy gateway, I think. This looks a little bit proxy gateway-like. We can take a look at the gas mining here. 2-1. Going into 2-2. Actually, 15. Yeah, 15 on gas. Hard to say what exactly is going to happen. Could still be a proxy robo as well, but it just smells a little bit too much like a proxy gateway, in my opinion. That is. Second probe is also being sent out here. Astrea actually opting to not open up with a quick Nexus. So rather than playing Nexus into core... Huh. I don't quite understand the order that Classic is going for here, by the way. Seems a little bit odd, but I guess it's fine. Gonna use that one probe to try and block for a bit. I think the follow-up here should be Sentry Warp Gate, no? Stargate defensively for Astrea. It feels risky. Pylon being built in the corner as well. It's a bit obvious though, isn't it? I feel like this type of probe movement should not be tolerated. Yeah, that's too obvious. It's too clean. Yeah. I almost feel like you should get your opponent to finish that though. I don't think you should straight away walk there. Like you just make a mental note, say to yourself, check in 10 seconds. That way you force out a pylon there. That's a huge deal. This probe will stay alive. Another probe out of Classic will go back home. We are currently on 3 gates. We have a single chrono boost on this warp gate. A couple of batteries here could definitely help the case. Another gateway might get added as well. It doesn't surprise me. This is what Zest played for a while. But first, instead, we see this triple stalker warping. Is that a slow pylon though, or is it? Oh no, they're just being built still. 3 stalkers at the same time. So we'll go up to 6 stalkers. And a couple of batteries being thrown down. There's going to be a Voider in a couple of seconds. I think 28, 29 workers is preferred over 27. Honestly, really good start here for Astrea, who's honestly kind of seems to be winning. Can't lose this. Hello? Can you micro the Void Ray perhaps, mate? Oh my god, actually not necessary. Just kills 3 stalks for you. This game. GG. Perhaps no need to micro the Void Ray if you kill everything. Oh my god. Classic. Classic, classic, classic. Getting a little bit over eager there and just dies. Oh. Short game. And Astrea is up 2-1 and puts himself on match point here. Exciting stuff. We're looking at the base of the blue Protoss player, who's currently up 2-1. And who will immediately send another probe down to get that one gate going again, I guess, huh? And I actually see on the minimap right now that Classic has similar plans. Classic is done being the 2-gate player and says, no, I want my wall on the low ground. I want to just play a 1-gate versus 1-gate. And this is a cool adaptation here out of the Korean Protoss. Basically saying, hey, in the 1-gate versus 1-gate scenario, the pure 1-gate versus 1-gate scenario that they played on Blackburn, I managed to beat you. If we can play that again, I think I can beat you again. So I just want to mirror exactly what you're doing, except I will just do it better. Rather than having to respond to that defensive type of Astrea play and Classic almost being forced to be aggressive, he now says we're on equal footing, at least economically. And from here on out, depending on who has the better understanding of the 1-gate versus the 1-gate, the better understanding of what happens in the mid-game, get a very different type of game here. As Astrea is... Oh, wait, what? It's going to be a second gate, actually, but it's just going to be a low ground gate. So perhaps Classic just wanting to lower the rush distance. Also, of course, a possibility... Wait, did I misread what's going on here? 10, 28, so 118. This must have been a 14, or sorry, a 13 pylon. I might have missed that. This is a very fast cybercore. 13 pylon, 14 gate. It doesn't seem like a 12 pylon, 13 gate to me. It's a little bit too slow for that, maybe? Yeah, a little bit too slow. I think this will finish at, what, 54 or 53? Yeah, so solid 6 seconds faster than usual at 54. Yeah, this is a 13 pylon, 14 gate. So 12 pylon, 13 gate is the fastest one. This is kind of in between. This can often trick the opponent as well, especially if they're not so aware of the timings of gateways. Sometimes, you know, you're just not paying close attention. It's only 6 seconds. This is actually a build that Neep made, I believe. At least Neep introduced me to it. And economically, it's quite close to a 14 pylon, 16 gate. But at 6 seconds is potentially a big deal. Really cool build order. Really, really cool build order, except it's not ideal against what Classic is doing here. Classic is producing a crap ton of Stalkers. He's going to do it quickly as well. Stargate being proxied at the same time. Of course, there's going to be a significant delay on that Stargate proxy here for Classic. And this Void Ray will make its way into the main base. Right now, Astrea is actually just going to straight up walk into the main as well with this adept. This is a huge deal. This is a massive error, honestly, out of the Korean toss. And if this adept just gets 3-4 kills, that's huge. That really is huge. These two Stalkers are not going to be enough against this Void Ray. There's money for a second Void Ray. The question is there going to be money for 2 Void Rays on the side of Classic? There is a recall availability, which means that, I mean, if this pylon dies, that would be a big thing. No, for the pylon, mate. There we go. I don't think this needed to be used quite yet. Perhaps I'm wrong. I'm loving this full wall here, though, out of Astrea. Completely correct call. Gets the battery as well on the main base. I think Astrea is just doing it. I think he's winning the best of 5 here. 3-1. The Stalker should not be capable of out-microing. This is why I wanted him to save the prismatic alignment, by the way. No. Ooh, improper targeting there. Astrea's gonna lose the Void Ray, maybe just barely. No, keeps it alive. Also just barely. We'll be able to target down that battery, which means that a recall is probably not going to be possible. This Stalker's going to move into the main base. There's no super battery available, though. This Stalker might just die before it even gets to the battery. No, it will survive. It will survive. It will survive. It's not taking any damage, just shield damage for now. No super battery means that this will end soon, though. Uh-oh. That is bad. That is really, really bad. There's going to be another Void Ray that can be built, and a couple of more batteries are also on the way. Probes are trying to get us around on these Stalkers. And there's just no... he needs a pylon. He needs another pylon right now. It's 3 versus 2. Oh, this is a wild game. If he just can get one more pylon, or if he loses a bunch of these workers, would also be completely fine, of course. Both is okay at this point. I really do believe that both is okay. Gets a surround on the Stalker. One Stalker will fall. I think Astrea has it. Am I incorrect? I mean, this Void Ray is going to finish. It's going to be 4 Void Rays. There's no aggressive batteries here. I don't think he should be building this. He should not recall into this. This could be the one thing that makes him lose if he recalls back home. He should just be going for the base trade, no? He got some probes out. And this is a win. Unless he recalls. No. What? No. Huh? There's no way he's losing. He has 4 Void Rays against 3. He knows at this point that nothing is being built because his opponent is being revealed. So you just have 1 extra Void Ray over your opponent. You have a unit on the map. You have these buildings on the map. Worst case scenario, you have 100% draw. Best case scenario is you win the game, like if you don't completely mess up the micro. With 4 prismatic alignments, it seems impossible to lose this game. Did he also recall back home before prismatic alignment was off cooldown? Yeah, it wasn't even off cooldown immediately. Otherwise he still might have won. Good lord. That was an interesting call. And obviously the wrong call here. As now the score is tied 2-2 and we'll be heading into the final game of this best of 5. And that final game is going to be played here on Berlin Grad as the final map. Astrea not opting for the 1 gate expand. And neither is Classic for any type of low ground wall. Ooh, that's his first pylon, huh? That's new. That's new school. Astrea has these really fancy little things he sometimes does. Curious to see what this is going to be. A sideways pylon. I think you can still... I'm not quite sure if you completely reach there. I think you... Yeah, okay, you do reach there. So you can just wall like that. I don't know what the point is of having the pylon here, though. I don't see it, but... Then again, I don't have perfect vision. Astrea with the faster scout here. Classic, perhaps wanting to hide a pylon on the map. As he's going for a second gateway scout. Tends to be indicative of someone wanting to hide a second pylon. Not necessarily, but... Let's just say I've never seen someone hide a second pylon with a gate first scout. And I've seen a lot of people hide pylons with a second gate scout. It's of course possible that he just wants slightly more money than his opponent. And he doesn't really... against a one gate expander, if you don't want to block your opponent's natural, then this can be a fine thing. Yeah, it's going to be a proxy. It is just going to be a proxy. Might still go for the scout with it as well, though. So just throw down the pylon and keep going, because this is a very aggressive position. If Astrea's paying attention, though, he'll notice that this probe is delayed. And he'll also notice the lack of a second pylon. So this probe is delayed by about 5 seconds. Oh, it's not even going to go in. He decided against it. He wanted to. He wanted to scout, though. Probe's supposed to arrive at, I think on this map, 146. It was going to arrive at 152. It's a pretty big tell. Especially adding on top the fact that there's no second pylon. I mean, this is a clear stage. It's going to be a proxy. And it's now on Astrea to figure out what the proxy is. Astrea saw the delayed warp gate. Should have probably checked the timing on the stalkers as well. And get you at least a little bit of information. Information. Twilight Council first is the answer out of Astrea. Oh my god, the dog is blocking. The dog. The dog is... This actually is huge. This dog changed the game. He just decided, potentially, this best of 5, okay? I'm not saying it's true, but... If you scout the fact that there is a Twilight Council, you can play this a lot more passive. Or a lot more aggressive. You don't have to get a battery in your main base because you know it's not going to be a Stargate. You know you don't need to be too careful about anything running by, like a 4 Stalker run by or a Prism entering your main base. So you're basically saying, okay, what is the worst thing that can happen? And the worst thing that can happen right now is that you get blinked upon. So you know there's going to be a quick blink timing. What you can do 2 things. 1, get an Immortal, Prism, take out a gateway, expand behind it, then defend against the counterattack. That is, I think, in my opinion, this is the best thing what you can do. Second option, you play your standard Robo, perhaps add a 3rd gate after the 2nd Immortal. Ooh, before the 2nd Immortal. Don't think you can enforce the 2nd Immortal then, can you? It's gonna be quite close at least. And you just basically stay here forever. And the longer the game goes, the better your army gets, because Immortals just work better. There's nothing here for Astrea. Astrea just didn't figure out what it was. He's just gonna straight up die. He's dead. This was a very wild play, by the way, out of Classic. I do like it. If you know what your opponent is doing, very unlikely there's going to be a sentry with a Twilight opener because the gas tends to be quite tight. You're saving gas for the later game. GG gets called, and Astrea, after having a 100% win, now gets blasted by a dog blocking the scout, or blocking the pylon that was supposed to block the scout. Very unfortunate little moment there, as Astrea really just kind of throwing this series away. That will be it for me today, as Classic wins 3-2. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And hopefully I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you, and bye-bye.